Hey folks, Dave here, and welcome back to Fallout 4 for a new mini settlement build and a little bit of Let's Building inspired directly by the newly released Metro Exodus. If you guys have not seen this game, it is fantastic. I've been completely absorbed by it, and it actually got the creative wheels turning here in Fallout 4. So today, I'm going to show you guys a Metro series inspired settlement build here at Oberland Station. But before we dive in, you guys should pause this video and go take a look at my Metro Exodus preview to get an idea of where this inspiration came from. And once you guys take a look at that, I've also got some news about how you guys can get your hands on this build as well. Again guys, if you're not familiar with the Metro series, it's really central to the theme here. This idea of living underground in the Metro stations to survive a nuclear apocalypse. I just thought to myself, that is something that I've got to try here in Fallout. So again, if you're on PC, I've taken the Transfer Settlements mod, and I'm uploading this as a blueprint to the Nexus mod database. So if you're on PC, you'll be able to load this settlement into your game as a blueprint as long as you have the same mods that I do. At least the core ones are really all you need to get things working. Because I built this in the in-game workshop, there is unfortunately no way for me to share this with anybody on consoles just yet. However, if you guys know of a way to export a in-game workshop settlement into a creation kit mod, let me know. I've been looking for that kind of thing for a long time. I'd love to share these builds with more of you guys, but unfortunately because I do build here on PC, unless I build it in the creation kit, I can't do that. So guys, as you can see, Oberland Station looks a little bit different. I imagine this as maybe the mayor's kind of pet project, a way to extend the Boston subway system out here at one last stop at Oberland Station. In this case, to connect with a park that you're going to see behind things here. And I like to kind of start things off with settlements that have involved this much terrain modification by showing you guys how I've changed things. And I've intentionally left a lot of this area open, so if you guys download this settlement blueprint, you can have plenty of room to do your own building. But let's go into free cam for a second. You guys can see this is the kind of park we're going to tour here in a minute that the subway system connected to. The catch is, and those of you guys who are familiar with this settlement are going to know what's coming, the catch is that this entire section you're looking at right here, all this terrain, this is all fake. I placed all of this to create a cover for our underground metro, which is of course this massive Art Deco entrance right here. Give you guys just a peek down into the metro. So to make an underground section, I use the Homemaker mod, as well as I believe Northland Diggers, to actually place terrain and grass objects to create this fake mountain and park. So again, in the name of tradition, I'm going to first make sure that I have a save before I scrap all this stuff. Okay, let's do one more save just to make sure because I'm going to show you guys the before and after. Let's do a scrap all. So, you guys can see it's scrapped everything that was inside of the borders, and a lot of these things around the edge I had to place and then drag outside of the borders, but they did not get scrapped. All of the grass and some of the edges right there are left are faked. It's a fake mountain to hide our metro system, and you can see just a bit of the corner of it that I placed outside of the build area, so it didn't get scrapped. I'll duck into workshop mode for just 1 second so you guys can see. These bushes here help hide the seams for these objects that I've placed, these terrain objects. And if we hide a couple of those, there's the edge of our metro that I've built, peeking from underground. I'm really happy that Metro inspired this settlement location because I've been struggling for years with what to do, literally years, with this settlement because I mean, not to rag on Bethesda's level guys too much, but I don't know if they understand how trains work. These tracks are kind of ridiculous in a kind of fun Fallout-y way. All their train tracks are kind of like this, but I picked the flattest spot that I could find that was close to this downhill section to build the metro, and I've placed our platform here. It's got some of the actual subway track edges here, and of course a lot of debris detailing to make it look correctly post-war. Yes. I want this set up so you guys can build your own settlement on top of it. Got some Fallout shelter signs, and of course our Art Deco inspirations. Got the clock out front. And you can walk up the steps here. Someone's already partially moved in with some sandbag defenses. Additional Fallout shelter signs, as well as our Civil Defense logo, which, by the way, directly inspired my Backyard Battlefield logo. Some of you guys might have already realized that. Let's go on inside the metro. As we head down into the metro proper, got our posters on the walls. All kinds of awesome pipe detailing. Really helps to sell the effect. Some stones on the stairwell. Broken Protectron and some rather creepy mannequins here. With one of these fantastic lights from the Homemaker mod casting some actual shadows. I love these shadow effects. The lighting in this game can look really, really good. And for you guys that are going to build down here, I've got conduit running through a bunch of the underground metro section so that you can power whatever you want to add down here. And just about all of these objects should be scrappable down to the walls themselves if you want to try and expand the metro in your own way, or, you know, clear things out and add your own objects like beds and whatnot. Got one of the old ticket booths here, and again, I'm leaving some of these rooms as empty as possible for you guys to build. Even this pile of rock and debris should be scrappable, or unless you guys have the mod, you won't even see this here. It'll just be some empty floor space for you. Ticket booth all set up with someone's cooking station. And I'll look out into the old station itself. There's a look out at the outside. Some of the stuff that you can do with the settlement system is pretty wild, what this game can handle. Like, that looks really, really neat, and the fact that I could build this in-game, yes, with the help of some mods that let you build more stuff, that's still pretty wild what this game can handle. Notice the civil defense icon here. I think for my settlement, this is going to be some kind of government armory room, with the expectation that some people might be staying down here in case of a nuclear holocaust. And maybe there would be some outside doors. I haven't quite decided on that for my build, so I left them off for you guys. Of course, RangerDave, always be prepared warning poster. So for me, I have this room set up as kind of a military-like safe room. Left it a bit bare so I can add some decorations and maybe some, probably some workbenches in here. Some ammo crafting tables perhaps, stuff like that. It's got the emergency phone there. And pretty well sealed up. Yeah. Out in the central common area, someone's been down at the river fishing. They look a bit sketchy, but hey, you gotta eat, right? And I imagine the fire barrel adds a nice smoky flavor to the air down here. Got some firewood stacked up for the fire barrels. And some directions for both the exit and for the bathrooms. Gotta have your bathrooms, right? For extra realism. This is where I was going to run into the game's terrain. I couldn't go down any further, so I added some debris and some sketchy looking bones and some water to make it as if the tunnel has collapsed here. And, you know, thinking it through, if I had to have some more room for stuff like beds, I could build a wooden platform where someone's, you know, dealing with the space they have to create some sleeping quarters in the flooded tunnel itself. That could be kind of cool. And this corner back here should be our women's restroom. Just one stall, but it's not a huge subway station, so should be just fine. And from the looks of that fresh toilet paper, it's still functional too. Somebody's still using that. Get our ticket. What are these called? Oh man, not spindles. Carousels, I think? Ticket carousels? You guys tell me if I'm way off on that one. But you guys can see there's more pipe detailing. These were done with the Snappy Kits mod. Snappy House Kit? Snappy House Kit mod. He's got all these pipes and all these subway pieces to make this underground station. Got some more poster detailing and then all kinds of trash to add to the ambience, of course. More conduit, as you guys can see, to help you guys run power if you want to build down here. And again, the lighting looking out of the metro with that bit of grass poking through. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this is actually the terrain that clipped through a bit, and I was like, that actually looks, that looks really good, like a partial wall collapse here. If you guys aren't familiar with how I do these in-game settlement builds, yeah, I could go in the creation kit and, you know, flatten that terrain out, make it a little mod, but I really like working in-game with the workshop tools, with the terrain that I already have, and kind of working it into the build. And I think these bushes and weeds and dirt, it's a great example of how you can really make that work for you. This just really worked out well. And as you guys are going to see in the Let's Build section, this is the first part of the tunnel that I built, first part of the metro that I built, was the stairway to figure out how I wanted to use this pile of dirt and shrubs, seeing I knew it would be clipping through. We've got just a bit more of the metro over here. Note that ventilation fan for later. Again, keeping things a little bit open as I can for you guys so that you have a little bit of room for building. We got some faded posters on the wall. Lots of piping. Some announcement loudspeakers and some dead lights. And this is the men's restroom. Got your boxing head on the wall. And your TP and your urinal. Small, but fits pretty well for a subway bathroom, I think. In this corner, we have our reactor for the subway. Some basic storage back here in the corner. Just a little bit of that rock clipping through from the cliff outside, but I think I kind of made it work. Some extra pipes. And again, some of this detailing might be missing for you guys depending on which mods you're running. If you're just running the core mods, you won't have all of the debris and the pipes and stuff like that. But hey, then you can detail your own version of the subway as long as you have the basic blueprint, right? That is our reactor room. I just love how those shadows look. So cool. I'm going to actually just leave that door open. So it's a bit cramped, but I think there is room for expanding. I think I might tear out some of these seats, or maybe just make them into beds. Add some wooden supports next to them. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I'll definitely be coming back to build now that I have set up the blueprint here. Now let's head on outside and take a look at the park. As we head down this way, you guys can see we have additional debris detailing to make the walkway look properly post-apocalyptic. Also got one of our Minutemen guards here with a civil defense uniform, it looks like. That hat looks just like the one that I used in my Red Dead Redemption Winchester shotgun video. That looks really, really close to it. I just realized that. That's really funny. And kind of unnerving. That was not intentional. We have some extra Art Deco detailing here on the side of our metro station. And a lot of this shrubbery is to hide the gaps and seams for the underground. So I can kind of smash the camera through here. You guys can see it's covering up some of those gaps pretty well, if you ask me. It seals them up quite nicely. So yeah, guys, I kind of imagine this park as, you know, some mayor's pet project, maybe a way to launder some money, or just have an excuse for something to campaign on. You know, a big fancy Art Deco metro stop at this small railroad outpost just for this park. But I ran with the idea, and I kind of like it. You've got some basic playground stuff over here. You get your swings and your some kind of UFO playpen here for the kids, sawhorse, and even a grill. And again, all this terrain that I'm walking on is fake. I placed this in the workshop, including that trash, to create the hillside here. I originally was going to use all rocks, but it just looked way too fake, like just a big rocky block. Adding in the shrubbery and the dirt and the grass really helps to sell this as an actual section of terrain and not just a bunch of, you know, modded cliff rocks. From our plaza here, we can follow the walkway up, and you guys remember that vent underground. Got it right here where it comes out. Even got a animation spin to it. Got some trees and lamps to light our way. And this shed right here with a hose on the side is where I moved the workbench to, as you guys can see. I imagine this is some kind of caretaker's workshop before the war. And now whoever's about to move into the settlement can use it as a workshop as well. Oh, here we go, guys. I missed one gap right there. You see it? I think let's turn my HUD back on. I must have moved this piece a few more times and then didn't check the upper side again. Just lower it down. Help hide the seam. And fix that shimmering texture glitch. And there we go. Fix the gap. Oop, wrong button. Everything should look good over here. Oh yeah, we're good. So coming outside of our shack, we have our central plaza, which of course for my settlement is going to have our Minutemen statue. Someone's offering some candles of remembrance for the Minutemen lost. Protecting the Commonwealth. I think maybe a plaque should go in there too, but that can come later. Again, I try to leave as much of this scrappable and blank as possible so you guys can add your own details if you want to build here as well with that settlement blueprint. So this statue base, the statue, I think even this big plaza piece should all be scrappable if you don't want to use it for your version of the settlement. Over this way, we have more of my fake cliffside, which again, thanks to the dirt and grass, I think looks a lot more convincing than if I had just left it as all rock. It's just helping to cover up the metro, which is just below us. Here we go. I'm going to clip down into the terrain and you guys can see the fake dirt pieces, and then our metro roof is right below the surface. That worked out really, really well. And then a little campfire, some debris on the stairs, and then again, all this cliffside right here is also fake. I took out some of the rocks and made a more dirt-like slope just to break up the monotony, because having a perfect, you know, horseshoe of rock cliff faces just looks so fake. And I think you guys would agree, putting a dirt section in there really helps to make it look more convincing and more natural. Still a lot of rocky cliff face, but when you're making an underground section out of nothing, you gotta do a little bit of fakery with your rocks to get that underground space to work with. So for you guys who are going to build here, I've even put up some scaffolding. You can go right up the ramps here if you connect to them correctly, and climb on up and get onto the roof, which should be set up where you can build up here as well. So you could build some scrappy looking shacks up top, or maybe just a guard tower or a sniper's outpost. And you can see we can see all the way over to downtown Boston. I'm not sure which gun I have out here. There we go. There's a scope to one. So this definitely would have been the last stop for the metro, down in that flooded and collapsed section. But whoever built this park really put some money behind it, right? And guys, that's the basics for the template that I set up. This took about 3 or 4 days. I would say around, it wasn't too bad. Maybe, I'll say 13 or 14 hours of work. I was pretty efficient with this one as far as the build goes. A couple late nights, but like I said, I really, really loved my first introduction to Metro Exodus. I've been enjoying that so much that the inspiration bug just bit me. And it just clicked. Oberland Station, a metro station. It just, it fit. And so what I'm going to do next, guys, besides encouraging you to go check out that preview of Metro Exodus once again, is I'm going to roll a little bit of the Let's Build for how this came together, because I did just freewheel this, basically. I had a basic idea, you know, platform roughly right here in the flat spot. Stairs going down 2 layers to a flooded section, but beyond that, I really just built this one by ear, just to see what I could come up with, and it's pretty fun to see the process. So, again, if you guys want to download that blueprint and you're on PC, go ahead and check the link in the description and post your work on this build in the comment section. I'd love to highlight some of the work that you guys do with it if you decide to build here as well. For now, I'm going to roll that Let's Build footage. Hope you guys have enjoyed this Metro inspired build. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.